2 points dropped for Spurs in the Premier League. Referee Anthony Taylor disallowed 3 goals at St Mary's. Antonio Conte has come out and said his demands are high, he is used to winning, and it's now going to be hard to fight for something this season. Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. In today's video, I'll be going through all of today's newspapers, looking at all of the player ratings as well from all of the nationals after the game. Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1, a frustrating afternoon at St Mary's. Just before I get into today's video, make sure that you download the OneFootball app for all of the live football scores, results and news, as well as getting all of the latest Spurs news on this channel. You can also see it all here. Download the OneFootball app to keep up to date with everything Tottenham Hotspur, club news, transfer news, match information, videos, tables and results from all around the world. Don't miss out, and please do let me know what you think of this app. So going into this game, both teams had won their previous game on Boxing Day. Southampton beating our London rivals West Ham 3-2 at the London Stadium. And of course, we beat Crystal Palace 3-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now going into this game against Southampton, Antonio Conte made 3 changes from the Crystal Palace game. Out went Tanganga, Skip and Lucas, and in came Ben Davies, Harry Winks and Dele Alli. So Tottenham Hotspur's starting 11 against Southampton was as follows. Hugo Lloris in goal, the back 3 of Sanchez, Dyer and Davis, wing-backs Reguilon and Emerson Royal. In midfield, Højbjerg, Winks, and of course the forward 3 of Dele Alli, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. Now let's talk a little bit about the game. Now, of course, in the first half an hour or so, Tottenham Hotspur didn't really create anything. Southampton were excellent. Their pressing, their fast movement, their one-touch passing was absolutely sensational. They clearly had a game plan. And, of course, they made 6 changes as well, so a lot of their players were very fresh. They went 1-0 up in the 25th minute through Ward-Prowse. Great individual goal from him. Great finish. Hugo Lloris had absolutely no chance. Emerson Royal and Dele Alli failed to clear a long throw-in. And, of course, we had our first shot on target in the 29th minute through Harry Kane, which was a free kick, and then a tame shot from Heung-min Son in the 35th minute. Of course, we had that disallowed goal that Ben Davies put in with his head, but it was clearly offside, so there's no point really talking about that one. Tottenham's fortune came in the 39th minute when Salisu actually brought down Heung-min Son. A superb ball from Harry Winks. Harry Winks quite often gets criticised by a lot of sideward passes. But I tell you what, that ball for Heung-min Son, absolutely sensational. Of course, he was brought down by Salisu. He had received a yellow card earlier on in the game. This was his second yellow card. He was sent off. Harry Kane, a couple of minutes later, put the ball on the spot and does what Harry Kane always does, finishes. Superb penalty, 1-1. We went in at the break, level. Some people could argue we didn't deserve it whatsoever, but sometimes in football, you need that bit of luck. And it's weird because 3 games on the spin, 3 Premier League games, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, and now Southampton, an opposition player has ended up seeing red. So, of course, the second half, it will always be remembered by VAR decisions and poor refereeing decisions. In the 53rd minute, it looked like Tottenham Hotspur had gone 2-1 up through a wonderful Harry Kane goal from a wonderful Harry Winks pass again. The ball actually started in our half. Harry Winks saw Harry Kane made the run, played a wonderful ball over to him. Harry Kane latched onto it, finished. Does what he does best. We've seen him do this many, many times in recent years. And, wonderful finish. And then all of a sudden, VAR got involved. They were checking it. He was clearly onside. This is not me being biased as a Tottenham Hotspur fan. I am not really one to keep slating referees and match officials. But I tell you what, we watch Premier League football week in, week out. And we know that the Premier League is probably the best league in the world. But in my opinion right now, many managers have said it, many pundits have said it, and many fans have said it, in recent months. We probably have the worst officials in world football right now, and it is just not good enough. These bad decisions, these poor decisions could end up costing us a Champions League spot. It could end up costing us, decent European football at the end of the season. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. But, such poor decisions. Harry Kane was clearly onside. Pundits have really broken this down. If you haven't seen it, Andy Gray, Richard Keys, watch that video on Twitter or on YouTube. They clearly break it down and say, well, how on earth is he offside? I cannot believe that decision was made. It actually got worse. This game actually got worse in the 67th minute. Forster, the Southampton goalkeeper, he dropped the ball. A cross come over, he dropped the ball, clearly dropped the ball, it went into the net, and then the referee all of a sudden gave a free kick against Matt Doherty. I just could not believe it. That is probably one of the worst decisions I have ever seen whilst watching football in my life. And I tell you what, if one bad decision in a game, but two absolutely glaring errors from VAR officials, from referees, it is not good enough. It is absolutely shocking. And in my opinion, I think that sometimes referees just need to come out and apologise. They need to come out publicly and apologise and say, I got this wrong. Because, in the Premier League, all of the Premier League teams, all of the Premier League managers, they have to sign contracts to say that they will come out and do post-match interviews. They will come out and explain themselves and talk about the game. Why do referees not have to do this? Why do referees always have to hide away and never ever explain their decision-making and, actually say that they got it wrong? This is just not good enough. For those people that were calling Tottenham Hotspur poor, I'm not making excuses. Yes, we played against 10 men for the whole of the second half, but we'd only played 46 hours before. It wasn't 48 hours because by the time the game had finished, it was 46 hours after the Crystal Palace game at home. So I think a lot of the players were tired. When you think of all the COVID problems that we've had during December as well, and Antonio Conte has still remained unbeaten in the Premier League. 7 games in the Premier League, unbeaten, the first ever manager to do that in our history. I think that says a lot about him and a lot about his management style. Yes, it's truly disappointing that we've only drawn 1-1 and we haven't got the 3 points. But it's now on to the next game. Be positive again. We're playing Watford. West Ham United have just beaten them 4-1 yesterday. And, I fully expect Tottenham Hotspur to get a few goals at Vicarage Road, keep the clean sheet. And, let's start 2022 on a real positive because, as I said, and as I keep saying on this channel, I feel really, really positive about Tottenham Hotspur at the moment. And let's hope that 2022 is our year. And also, I know that a number of Spurs fans are getting on a number of the players back saying, well, they're not good enough, they're not this, they're not that. If everything was rosy at our club, we wouldn't even have Antonio Conte in the first place. So everything is not going to be perfect, especially at this stage. Antonio Conte hasn't even made a signing of his own yet. He's working with these players, and evidently he has improved all of these players. Let me just start by saying, Harry Winks for one in that game. And I saw a number of negative comments about Harry Winks. I'm thinking, well, Harry Winks was probably our most positive player, our most creative player in that game at St Mary's yesterday. Evidently, that ball for Heung-min Son that won us the penalty, fantastic weight on the pass, and of course the fantastic pass that Harry Kane scored, which of course was disallowed. They both were assisted by Harry Winks. Now, after that 1-1 draw at Southampton, Spurs are now down to 6th in the Premier League. We have now played 17. We have won 9. We have drawn 3. We have lost 5. We have a goal difference of +2. We have 30 points. Now, we do have 2 games in hand over all of the teams above us. Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal and West Ham. And if we win both of those games, we will go up to 4th place with 36 points. So let's go through today's newspapers, starting with the Daily Mirror. And the main heading here is one that got away. Conte frustrated as 10-man Saints fight to deny it Spurs. The player ratings, Hugo Lloris a 7. Sanchez a 6, Dyer a 6, Davis a 6, Emerson Royale a 7, Højbjerg a 6, Harry Winks a 7, Reguilon a 6, Dele Alli a 6, Harry Kane a 6, Heung-min Son a 7. They've actually given man of the match to Southampton player James Ward-Prowse, who of course scored the host's goal in the 25th minute. And of course Harry Kane got Tottenham's goal in the 41st minute from the penalty spot. It says in the main article, Antonio Conte says there is still plenty of work to do to turn Tottenham into a top 4 side. On this evidence, he is not wrong. Now for a report from the Times newspaper, and the main heading reads here, referee reprieves Forster blunder, and it then says Antonio Conte has been clear that Tottenham Hotspur need to do much better in possession, and that was evident here as they struggled to find a way past Southampton's 10 men. Under Conte, Spurs have operated mainly on the counter-attack with great success, but the head coach was left unhappy about a missed opportunity to close the gap on the top four. He may now believe that a creative midfielder is needed next month. Now the Tottenham player ratings from the Times newspaper this morning. Hugo Lloris a 6, Sanchez a 5, Dyer a 6, Davis a 6, Emerson a 6, Dele Alli a 5, Harry Winks a 7, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg a 6, Reguilon a 6, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son were both 7s. Actually, I think that Harry Winks, 7, I think is well deserved, because Harry Winks actually provided the ball for Heung-min Son, where of course we won the penalty for Harry Kane's goal. And of course he provided that wonderful assist for Harry Kane's disallowed goal as well. It's so great to see Harry Winks playing a number of forward passes, key passes, and he put in a great, a couple of great crosses as well in the game. Now for a report from the Daily Star, and it says here, the main heading, Saint good enough. Conte orders more in bid for top four. Antonio Conte says there is still lots of work to do to turn Spurs into a top four side. On this evidence, he is not wrong. Player ratings, Hugo Lloris a 7, Sanchez a 6, Dyer and Davis both 6s, Emerson a 7, Højbjerg a 6, Winks a 7, Reguilon a 6, Dele Alli a 6, Harry Kane a 6, Heung-min Son a 7, and they have given Anthony Taylor a 6 out of 10, which I think is extremely generous for obvious reasons. Antonio Conte said after the game, we're disappointed because we need to exploit the situation better. It was a big opportunity to win. My demands are very high. I'm used to being competitive and winning. We have to work. It won't be easy to fight for something this season. We need to improve. So let's have a look at today's Sun newspaper, and on the front of the goals supplement, it says here, Conte slack flack, Ant raps Spurs. Antonio Conte accused Spurs of lacking intensity after they failed to beat 10-man Saints. Southampton defender Salisu was sent off in the incident that led to Harry Kane's 41st minute penalty equaliser. Boss Antonio Conte said, I think we have to be disappointed because obviously the situation, we did need to exploit it much better than we did. Okay, it's a draw, but I think the players and I need to be disappointed. In the main article in The Sun, it says here, 7 under par. And, one of the real positive things is here is Antonio Conte has become the first ever manager in the club's history to be unbeaten in the first 7 games managed at the club. It says Antonio Conte will celebrate with 7 up after making history at Spurs, but he should have been toasting a victory with champagne, having seen his team play against 10 men for 51 minutes. Now, the match stats in the game. Tottenham Hotspur had 21 shots to Southampton's 9. We had 11 shots on target to Southampton's 2. We had 65% possession to Southampton's 35. Passes completed, we had 532 to their 289. Touches in the opposition box, we had 32 to their 10. We had 7 corners to Southampton's 3. We received 2 yellow cards, so did they. And they also had that red card in the first half. Now, some interesting stats. Now, each of Tottenham's last 3 Premier League matches have seen an opposition player sent off. Robertson against Liverpool at home, Zaha against Crystal Palace at home, and of course Salisu against Southampton away. And Tottenham's Harry Kane has now had a direct hand in more away goals at St Mary's than any other venue in the Premier League. That is 11, 6 goals and 5 assists. Now for a report from the Daily Telegraph, and the main heading reads here, Kane frustrated by narrow offside call as Spurs miss out. It's actually got a quote here from Antonio Conte. I think Harry Kane has scored twice, but I don't want to comment on the referee's decision or the VAR decision. They are there to do their best. Now, the player ratings today from the Daily Telegraph are as follows. Hugo Lloris a 7, Sanchez a 6, Dyer a 6, Davis a 6, Emerson Royal a 6, Harry Winks a 6, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg a 5, Reguilon a 5, Dele Alli a 5, Heung-min Son a 6, and Harry Kane a 7. Now for a report from the Daily Express, and it says here, finishing touches are still needed at Spurs. Conte knows he has much work to do as 10-man Saints hold on. Antonio Conte says there is still plenty of work to be done to turn this Tottenham Hotspur team into a top 4 side, and on this evidence, he is not wrong. Player ratings today from the Daily Express: Hugo Lloris a 7, Sanchez a 6, Dyer a 6, Davis a 6, Emerson a 7, Højbjerg a 6, Harry Winks a 7, Reguilon a 6, Dele Alli a 6, Harry Kane a 6, and Heung-min Son a 7. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments section below on what you made of the Southampton v Tottenham Hotspur game. And please do let me know your score prediction for the Watford game on the 1st of January. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe and well. Come on, you Spurs.